Hi, today I want to speak about our climate crisis and how this is linked to our food industry. But first I want to take you back with me to my personal expedition. Last year I was sparked about the topic food waste. I saw how this affects our climate and that there is a lack of awareness. The most interesting outcome of that research was that consumers were the biggest cause of food waste. In my professional expedition, I'm more curious about the food system. Where do I see a gap in the system and where is space for transformative innovation? When I think of our food system, I also think about our food consumption. Before I started my expedition, I reflected on my own food consumption. I thought I had a healthy diet. I eat less meat because of the effect for my health. For example, when you eat too much red meat, it can contribute to chronic conditions like heart diseases, diabetes and obesity. The other reason was because of the effect on our climate. The animals we need, they need also food and space. It's hard to understand, but if we go and continue the way we do now, it is possible that there are more cows on Earth than people in a few years. And think of all those spaces the cows will need and that we as humans also need. Eating too much animals can also have effect on our climate. When keeping animals, CO2, methane and nitrous oxide are released. These greenhouse gases contribute to our global warming. Meat and dairy are the biggest culprits. During my research, I read something about cognitive dissonance. Well, cognitive dissonance means that you have two beliefs that doesn't fit each other. For example, on one hand, I really like to eat meat because I really like the flavor. But on the other hand, I care about the climate and the environment and I know what the effects are. So you can understand that I had a feeling that I was lying towards myself. Therefore I challenged myself to follow a vegan diet for 30 days to see if this lifestyle could fit me and what the effects were or would be. Well, I finished my 30 days and I realized that I have a less bloated feeling, become more energized. I also eat less snacks during the day because of the plant-based food I eat. It makes me more full and I don't need to eat that much extra food. So I will continue my vegan diet because I feel good with it. It's not that I do look different towards other people that are still eating meat. I believe that we all made some changes that has a positive influence on our climate crisis. An interesting thing that I found during my challenge is that in the first week I did groceries, I noticed that 70% of all the products in the supermarket are processed food. So it's not weird that we are used to eating too much processed food. To see how this comes, we must look to our past. Many things happen that significantly have effect on our food behavior these days. In the Western world, people eat meat because they chose to and not because they have to survive. They eat it because they like it and because we always did it the way it is. It's something that we learned ourselves, and does it mean that we can change this behavior? I know we can. By doing that, we also creating a new standard. Another reason is capitalism. There is an enormous growth in products and big companies are always in competition with each other. And some of them have an enormous power. Production in a free market is not aimed to meet a social need, but they are making a profit. To gain more profit, the companies make their products as attractive as they can to influence the consumer. The law says that consumers cannot be misled, but does it really work? And is it really happen? Well, products must have all the ingredients on the package. That means that the producer is fair about his product. But who knows about E-numbers, and did you ever heard of GMOs? And let's talk about the packages. Research shows that many products are full of processed ingredients with the words pure and natural. It gives the consumer the feeling that they are buying something good. But there is a whole difference between a banana and a nut bar with 100% natural on the package. A cause of this misleading food products is that we create an unnecessary consumption, which can lead easily to eating too much food than we need it. In other words, we overeat ourselves, which can lead to diseases. Furthermore, big companies gain profit and create more unhealthy products that we consumers will buy because we have to try them again. By adding cheap things like flavorings, sugar and fats, companies can sell such a product for less money but with more profit. To create a healthier society, we have to break this loop. Currently, the government, companies and consumers creating more awareness amongst a healthier and a fair trade food system. We see that meat-free food products are doing good in the market. A few examples to strive to a better food system that has more effect on our health are that new agreements should be made with the industry to put less sugar and less fat and salt in the food. And the price of meat, fish and processed food should be more expensive to make the healthier food more attractive. But what could be more a transformative innovation? Should we look at the current food system, or is there a possibility to create a new one? A more sustainable food system? I believe that we are not entirely dependent on our current food system, but that we have the right to choose ourselves. Why should we choose a system that tries to convince and mislead us, where we can take less benefit from it? As a social innovator, I see an opportunity to create a new food system on a community level by creating and stimulating more community gardens and food forests. But what is a food forest? A food forest is an agroforestry categorized by low-maintained, sustainable, plant-based food productions based on forest ecosystems. Integrate fruit and nut trees, scrubs, penetrails, climbs and yield are beneficial to humans. So we can produce food in the most sustainable way, with a minimum amount of input, but with the maximum amount of output. I want to focus more on communities that share the same values and that are achieving the same goal towards the greater good. Because only together we can make a big difference. To work on this dream project, I already have some contact with people that are in the first phase of creating a food forest in Gouda. I hope to play a role in setting up this food forest and creating a community. My name is Charlie, and if you are curious and you want to hear more of this topic, give me a message via my LinkedIn page. And maybe we can meet, have a drink, and maybe we can create some new great ideas.